Welcome to Event-Vods. Watch the full game from NLC Spring Playoffs 2025.
Okay, very important bits.
Yeah.
What happens with the Cyan? What happens with the Poppy? These are very, very two important calls right here. The Rumble also. I actually had a very interesting discussion with Chachi in the previous finals, and he said that he actually sucked at Rumble when Rumble became meta, like all those years back.
Yeah.
And he tried so hard over and over again. It was one of the champions that never really interested him, and he actually got really good at it. Deserved ban right here. Cyan gone, Gragas gone, Poppy gone, Rumble gone.
Boost?
Any more top laners? Anyone? The Trundle, perhaps? No, it's the Varus.
Wow, it's like we knew, but Baus versus Chart should be the hype one. The Varus obviously does need to go. Inax and Crowny, both really, really capable at that champion. Now, what's the next pickup here? That's actually just going to be Crowny's Lucian banned away. Thinking now what power picks are available. Lots of those big Baus champs are open. I don't expect this to be a blind pick for him. Probably looking jungle angle here.
The Pantheon has been a B1 consistently for the NLC. And right here, Velia is going to take that one away. I would be very surprised if I didn't see that Zinzao angle right here from Jankos. It's usually the response to Pantheon. Can very easily breach the early to mid game. You can actually fist fight with Pantheon. You do need friends, of course. We see usually Pantheon or Zinzao paired up with like Talias and Ares, and anything that can pretty much be strong in a 2 versus 2 scenario.
I like the Ari pick there because Nemesis looked absolutely incredible on that on day one. So nice denial, take that away. Don't give the Pantheon Ari combo over to Los Ratones. And now Jankos, I think Zinzao's a fine answer here.
Yeah.
It also pairs up well with the Ari. You have a little bit of mid-jungle synergy between the pair of them, bit of skirmishing.
Unless you want to... Okay, I like this from NORD. I'd love to see a whole all-in composition from the rest of the crew. I want to see Kaisers from them. I want to see things that dive straight into the backline. Chachi plays a mean Camille as well. It fits the bill right here, depending on what Baus picks on the other side as well. But I'm expecting something like a Talia to come out from Nemesis, something that really does complement the Pantheon and his skirmishes.
I think also a Talia would stop the dive
No
as well.
way, no way he does that.
Is
no
he
way
actually
going
to be picking this
He's
blind?
Oh!
Shogath for Baus!
You can't give trauma to Baus, apparently. He'll pick it into Chachi again. Is the Trundle gonna count? Trundle is open, but Nemesis plays Cho'Gath mid. He plays the speedy Cho'Gath, so...
How does that do into the Ari, though?
You pick a Trundle right here? I mean, I think it should be fine, but this pretty much
Sylas
solidifies the deal that Sylas goes mid. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Trundle come out from Chachi. That was the matchup. That was the one where he was 5,000 gold up, 5 levels up, absolutely invincible on the champ.
Yeah, I feel like this is a good angle for that, and then you also still get that nice pick in the support role. They're not going for that angle. You're locking the Kai'Sa. I know you're a big fan of it, but the Nico is now up as a support option here for Nash. Does he play it? Because we know Marlon played it yesterday.
Nash plays it too, actually. Nash plays Nico as well. I don't mind right here because they do have an all-in composition to sort of kill the bot lane and just go for some more engage, you know, the Alistas, the Rels, the Leonas and all that, just so they can have a more linear approach to the team fights. We see champion, we all together jump champion.
Yeah.
The response right here from LR is, do you actually play a more pearl composition? Because from what I'm seeing right here, this is not necessarily a front to back. This is pretty much every man for himself situation from Los Ratones.
All right, well, moving into the next stage of bans with Corki taken away here from NORD. LR probably just looking at things like a Trundle is a really solid ban right now. The Camille, that you mentioned as well, actually, is also nice. They're denying the Nautilus, though. Don't want some engage coming in from the side of NORD.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Xayah banned here as well. This is fantastic into Vi. You can literally ult her ult.
Yep.
And you are an anti-assassin type of champion. Really good into Kai'Sa as well down the bot lane. I feel like if you are going to play for that all-in sort of composition, you need to take those kind of champions that are safer out.
Alrighty, well, NORD really thinking about what they're going to take away as their last ban here. Take away the Rel. A little bit more engaged now. One thing we are looking at, Los Ratones, I mean, their engage is Pantheon point and click and a Baus rupture right now. I mean, technically, also you have the Abscond Abduct from the Sylas, but it's not like solid engage yet, right? Where on the side of NORD, again, you have more situational, but you do have that solid engage in the VIR. I think that the ban on the kind of supports that can engage makes sense because Nash, we know that the Nico is great for the Kai'Sa, but this Rakan is going to offer so much more engage, and now NORD's comp is actually looking a lot more well-rounded.
That's what they tried to break apart. Xayah is fantastic into what NORD has. Very anti-dive heavy, pairs insanely well with her hubby, Rakan. And NORD locking the 2018 bot lane that destroyed us in the World's Finals.
It wouldn't be game one without Reckless playing Alistair, and the crowd have already gone mad for that one. Final lock-in here for Chachi.
Not the Trundle, apparently.
Not the Trundle. Well, still hovering. Trundle is still an option. I do like the Gwen, though. Gives you a massive amount of power in the team fights, gives you, great side lane pressure, is going to get locked in. I will say the one criticism I have here, NORD are very AP leaning. Very AP leaning. I mean, Kai'Sa, we saw yesterday go part AP. I hope Inax goes full AD here.
I feel like having the Cho'Gath in that team, I'm looking towards Lethal Tempo, Kraken Slayer. However, the full attack speed build as well, where you go for the Rage Blade, you use that Static Shift, really does help in lane as well, clearing out those waves. You're playing against Xayah as well. It might just help having that extra damage, that extra clear, the extra attack speed for the Kai'Sa. I don't necessarily mind it because there are not many champions that can build all this MR. And even if they do, like, there's still 80 damage coming from Kai'Sa, there's still damage coming from the Vi. But NORD have a very dive-heavy composition into Los Ratones.
Yeah, this is a very dive-heavy. I think we're in for a bloodbath to open us up, which is what we want. We want these players to just come in swinging, come in fighting.
Man, I'm on the fence.
You're on the fence.
Yeah. I'm looking at the Vi, and even though it makes sense right here, you know where I stand. I'm like, but Xin Zhao, As we're slowly but surely, the handshake's going through. We're gonna get into game one.
Listen to that crowd. It's back to us. We are going into game any second now. I can see it on my screen. So we'll be getting into that one. Copenhagen, have you fallen asleep? No, they haven't. Game number one. NORD taking on Los Ratones. It's going to be a bloodbath, Trouble.
Both teams pretty much curated to fist fight. For Los Ratones, I have to say, it's going to come a little bit later on. You need a couple of items onto the Sylas. My only worry right here is that the Los Ratones composition is very short range. You're sporting 4 melee champions, and a Xayah, of course, right? An AD carry. But with a very dive-heavy composition and a Gwen that likes to stick onto champions, having 4 very short-range champs, you're making it a little bit too easy for NORD to sort of jump you. So we'll see how these team fights will go. Again, for Los Ratones, they have a very disruptive sort of composition. For Nemesis, you've got so many ults you can pick and choose. Usually you go for that Ari ult so you can be very slippery throughout the team fights, reach that backline.
Alrighty, well, ward to go down from Los Ratones just to spot out what Jankos is going to be doing. He's starting on that red side, probably just going to grab that camp and dip. Actually, no, he's just going to go into the blue side. Now, this does mean that Jankos will be clearing upwards towards Chachi, so maybe we'll see a little bit of early action there. Velia also will be clearing upwards though, but when you start on your Raptor camp here and you head south and then back up to north, it does slow down that clear somewhat. So may actually just skip a couple of camps and just head straight towards top in case any action breaks out. We'll have to see. If Chachi gets going on this Gwen, House's life is going to be pretty rough.
Getting a little bit of deja vu from the upper bracket final.
Yeah. I just... Last time Baus picked Cho'Gath.
Let's make it clear, right? Let's remind everyone. So in that game, Chachi obviously had the Trundle, Baus onto the Cho'Gath. I don't necessarily think it was that much of a matchup issue as much as it was timers for Baus. So Jankos again passing towards the top side of the map, and that was the crucial part where Baus had pushed too far, but usually you'll see him proxying as well. So if he's about to die, he'll take something with him, right? He'll push the wave, he'll force you under tower, he'll do something, and he just quite didn't in that particular series. Development that we've seen from yesterday, huge. He was a macro monster. Yeah. He was forming waves really nicely. He was playing between tier 1 and tier 2 without necessarily giving up too much. And we want to see this here as well. As you can see, Velia, we said it's very important that he protects towards the top side of the map, and both junglers heading towards the top. Velia has the chance to do that.
And right now, No Way is the one with the pressure in the lane versus Nemesis. So if they do look to maybe skirmish over crowd or anything like that, they have so much priority for NORD right now. I mean, even their bot lane had a shove that they're able to move over, rotate, spot out where the crab is. And if they don't see Velia on this crab when it spawns up fairly soon, they're going to know that he's around top lane, and that's going to be just more information over. With the pressure mounted, Nash was able to come up into mid, see if there was an option for anything. There wasn't, because Nemesis is playing far enough back to not being any threat.
I love what Inax and Nash have done here. They shoved in the wave, as you mentioned. Inax backs, gets a call. Nash roams mid, stands there, guards for Norway, which he had received a lot of criticism, right, from Norway, for stepping too forward, getting his flash taken, then repeatedly getting ganked. Now, Ari, of course, if you lose your flash before level 6, you're kind of screwed. But if you lose your flash towards that level 6, you still have avenues to outplay through that ultimate. She is a very slippery champion, and so far, Norway has been making Nemesis' life a hell.
Yeah, it's been really, really rough for Nemesis up. He's out of mana now as well, so can't even farm with the abilities underneath the tower. Just needs to take a bit of punishment, but he's just going to back off, TP back to lane. No way. It's a shovel wave, and just going to have a reset advantage. Now, looking at the top lane, Velia making his way up, looking for Vizichachi. Chachi's only level 4 right now. We're seeing a teleport from Nemesis into mid lane. Are they going to go for the dive?
I think it was more than looking for Chachi. I actually think that was to guard Baus, to push in that wave, crush it under tower, without necessarily Jankos being around. This is the fear that we get from the upper bracket final, right? That Jankos was there on correct jungle timers and Baus fell for them. That was very respectful. They're using Velia as a shield, as bot lane.
Inax, ignited. Reckless going quite low off the back of this, but I don't think they're under threat yet. I say that, and Jankos actually was making his way over, gets scared off. Velia
there too.
just going to back off, and right now I feel like anyone can just press flash and someone might get blown up.
Can you just feel the tension, and nothing has happened yet? Everything is on a very thin line. Jungler's very close to ganking. They're roaming. They're scattering around the map. They're looking for opportunities. Nothing's happened yet, but it just feels like it's about to break open.
This is a very, very tense couple of moments. It looks like the tension has dissipated, though.
Yep.
Everyone's going to just back off. And I felt the whole room go quiet there for a second. But it's a very, very different playstyle from what we saw versus Ruddy yesterday here from Los Ratones. There's a lot of respect there. They're playing the map as smart as possible, not looking to give up any major advantages, not looking to make any major risks. But at some point, they do need to do something where they will pull that trigger, find that opportunity. And No Way, he's got the ward, so he shouldn't be under any threat. Just hit 6. Has that Spirit Rush available, will be able to dash away if they even thought about jumping on him.
Yeah, I feel like the most important part right here, if you're NORD, is to get your Vi to level 6 as fast as possible, and that's where you start forcing summoners to try to get kills.
Yeah.
I feel like Ari, Vi, at that level 6 mark, it's very, very easy to get picks onto the map. You've got 2 minutes until Void grabs, you've got the Dragon up, so you get a pick onto the map, and then you look for an objective. However, Baus is just looking to see if he can find Nash.
He has Feast, but I don't think
you
Nash
can
is going to
push
give
there.
it to him.
You're surrounded by 4 members of NORD.
I think you get the kill at the best and then die immediately.
He changed. He changed. He would have pushed the wave, you know?
He would have.
He would have.
He's changed for the better, is what I'd
They've
say.
changed him.
Well, it looks like Los Ratones are actually not particularly interested in contesting the grubs. The fact that they've kept crowning and Reckless in the bot lane. Chachi's already been moved over. He's got teleport available, so if there was a big explosion of action to break out, he could rotate down, but Chachi quite happy to give that play up, grab as much of this wave as possible. He's just going to play it chill. It looks like actually Los Ratones, we talked about this yesterday, during the playoffs they had a 70% first Drake ratio. Velia's already looking towards that dragon. It looks like NORD, they set up for grubs, got scared about dragon, and now kind of giving up a little bit too much off that.
Yeah, I think Jankos is just looking for his level 6, right? He's literally one camp. If you look on his portrait, that purple bar will show you how much XP he has. He's literally one camp away from that level 6. Again, that level 6 paired up with an Ari, it's pretty much a guaranteed setup kill. Let's see where Jankos is going to be looking for, because like, they've left Velia all alone. He's quite low.
Charging up the queue, dragon was secured, but looks like they're going to call it off. Again, NORD playing it chill.
So
playing
cautious.
Playing it very cautious. They didn't really have the pressure with Chachi under tower and mid resetting, so I actually think that was the right call from Jankos. He's just going to move topside, look towards those grubs. He's bought pressure there with his bot lane. They're happy to make this play, but like you can see, Crowny and Reckless making their way up through the top side. There like may be a contest.
The rotation from NORD came in too early, right? Where they couldn't contest the dragon, and now they're going to get contested for the Void grabs as well, as Los Ratones will take the dragon, and then they'll push down the wave, and then they'll rotate towards the top side of the map. But I think at this point in game, I feel like NORD are that much stronger. They have so much pick potential with the Vi and the Ari. You've got Nash in there as well. They've already set up. They've got the deep wards into Los Ratones jungle. I feel like Los Ratones should just put their hands up here, take whatever side lanes they can, push out the waves, and handshake the 2 neutral objectives.
I think the objective handshake is absolutely fine here for Los Ratones. NORDs are also going to be happy with it. I do think grubs have a very high value as Reckless is actually looking to play interrupt. they've been able to zone them off the grubs. All of that setup from NORD, and they're just going to give it over. Los Ratones, they don't even have to get a kill. They just walk in and bully them off.
Talk about playing cautious, I feel like...
That was too cautious.
That was too cautious, yeah. I get you don't want to make mistakes, particularly versus LR. You give them an inch, they'll take a mile. You know how it goes.
Oh, Chachi. He's got the needlework.
Oh,
he's going to throw it out.
Not
Baus
again.
getting snipped here. Charging forwards. Baus has to flash the wall. Gets out alive. As we see Nemesis actually stealing the Spirit Rush. No way forced to use his own Spirit Rush. Just going to back away. Everyone's just testing the water right now. I thought it'd be a bloodbath, but they're a little shy to get in.
I feel like the more NORD wait right here to make Vi useful, the less useful she will be later on. You saw how Nat really did suffer getting into those fights later on with the Vi, even though they were even quite for the entire game. I feel like Pantheon's one of those champions that, yes, sure, he's stronger early to mid-game, but he's still pretty useful later on, especially when he has the passive. He's a little bit more durable. He can break apart fights. He's a nuisance in the backline. He can jump to your AD carry. Like, he does have avenues of being useful in team fights. I feel like Vi, sometimes when she falls behind, she presses R and then dies.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is what that champ does. Very reliable what she does, but
she reliably dies.
It is a major weakness. It's the same with Nocturne, right? Like, turns the lights off, jumps and dies.
It's a one-way ticket.
It's a one-way ticket champ. That's a very good way to call it. Now, though, all of the action has chilled off. We are almost at the 10-minute mark. Gold is Los Ratones favored, and I believe a lot of that comes down to NORD early swapping for the grubs and then giving up tower plates over to Crowny. Yep. He just got free time to get 2 tower plates where... Yeah, Inax got some farm, but he didn't actually translate it into plates at all.
I feel like due to the early rotations from NORDs, they lost a couple of waves, whilst Crowny was getting them much easier because he stayed down bot lane. They were pushing into the Gwen. There wasn't much resistance right there. Talking about resistance though, 1 minute 40 until the next Dragon. Jankos on the Scuttle Crab early, and Los Ratones are looking for an entry into that river. Nash is going to sort of spot them. Not much more is going to happen. The Scuttle Crab goes down. Inax and Nash are going to move towards the bot side of the map as Crowny and Reckless again.
Well, looks like they're just going to have to back off.
Man, this is going to be one fight that's going to... The game is just going to explode. I can just feel it. It's like the tension is there.
We're just simmering the pot right now.
Yep.
We're getting there.
Oh, there he is.
There it is.
Oh, there he is.
That is the loudest the crowd have been since we got into game. And it's Baus.
It has to be
proxy
something,
farming.
man.
How many stacks? He's got 4 stacks, so he's got 2 more minion stacks to get.
Now, the thing that Chachi has done very cleverly throughout him playing versus Baus is the fact that he will not give up his own wave to stop Baus from proxying. Because it's much more important that this Gwen is actually farmed up. As Inax and Nash, they're under attack. Jankos is there.
Flashes in, they find the lockdown. Nash immediately jumps out the quickness. Velia, low HP, into the back line. We see Jankos slide. Velia burning to the ignite. First blood to Nash. Inax slides in and gets another one. Nemesis joins into the play as he uses the needlework, but Reckless will fall. NORD take 3.
NORD shut down a play from Los Ratones.
Oh, and no way! What a charm!
4 kills in the span of 30 seconds, all in favor of NORD, and that's how you break a game open. About 1,000 gold in the lead for now, but the important players have gotten the kills. Well, most of them. There's one on Rakan, right? Kai'Sa, Ahri, Chachi on that Gwen. Let's watch this one more time. That was a play initiated by Los Ratones. They're wrapping around, they're diving onto the AD carry, but Crowny's so far away that by the time they get onto NORD's backline, Velia is almost dead. The double TP is going to come through. Chachi lands first, but then NORD managed to isolate members from Los Ratones, and Reckless sacrificed himself so that Nemesis can get out.
I feel like Nemesis TP'd way too late to that play. They knew the play was starting, and they just assumed they had it. They should have pulled the trigger.
It was just a response to the TP from Chachi there.
I feel like it was a little bit too forced of a play there, but Los Ratones, they lose those kills. They will still stack this Dragon, though. It looks like there's no contest coming in from the side of NORD. That'll be feat of strength for objectives secured here for the side of Los Ratones, and the Dragon stack is starting for them here, so able to pick that one up. Didn't see exactly what Dragon we're turning into.
And we're going to have full crit Kaiser as well coming through. That's actually really
Good.
going to hurt, because if you look over on Los Ratones, there is not a single tanky member. So with the Feast,
Oh, no.
you get a lot more HP on that Cho'Gath, but
Valves.
currently he's very squishy.
Yeah, he has no flash. I don't know if he's got this in him. Eats a
Avengers.
minion to get a bit of extra health. Down he goes. Inax takes the kill. Nice dive there from NORD.
So on the other side of the map, this was done during the resets for Los Ratones, so nothing necessarily gained on the other side for the side of LR. And NORD so far, fantastic early game. They managed to keep the tensions low, as Chachi has to deal with Nemesis now on a side lane. And I feel like it's been very slow and calculated. I was worried that the Vi was going to slowly fall off, but it was a play of Los Ratones that sort of backfired on them, with NORD having a fantastic response in that early game. And right now, first items are going to start coming through for both of these teams. Again, that 1,000 lead has become a 2,000
Chachi.
gold lead. Nemesis.
Needlework's doing a lot of work. Has he got that Kingslayer coming up soon? He's
No
going to
flash.
try and heal. The flash from Chachi. 0-6. NORD starting strong.
MVP, Offspring, showing up right here on the Gwen. R5. That was the reason red side was picked. So Chachi can have his pick. So Chachi can have his counter pick. 2-0 on that Gwen. About 1,000 gold up. Los Ratones, however, they will respond with the tower. Jankos again behind enemy lines. He's looking.
He is looking for it. Reckless is just going to send him packing. No way he's getting into that. Los Ratones were able to secure the feat of strength as well off the back of that as well.
Another tower bot lane.
Trading towers bot and top, but it's going to be a tower net advantage to Los Ratones. And as these towers fall and as the dust settles, the gold going to be very, very even. We'll have a look at this mid lane fight. Sorry, this bot lane fight
Wait,
again. This is Chachi getting jumped onto by Velia.
Did he die there?
We missed
He doesn't
this
have needle
one.
work. He doesn't have needle work.
Yeah, able to evade that. Bal's got the kill. We missed that one.
We missed the chomp. All right, +1 stack for the Cho'Gath. Great stuff right there. Rift Herald has spawned, if I'm not wrong. I do see a Vi wiggling about in the pit. So I'm asking that Jankos is onto that one. They do have pretty good deep vision on the top side in Velia's top quadrant of the jungle. So they are aware where most are. Second item slowly but surely starting to form. There's a BF sword in Kaiser's inventory, blasting wand, a couple of crystals for Vi as well. I'm looking to see that black lever potentially in Vi's inventory.
Oh, Chachi getting run down here. Going to avoid the rupture with the W. Able
When
to
is
break
immune?
away.
Ah, yeah.
Nothing you can do about that. Alrighty, 16 minutes in. Gold lead. 2,000 to NORD. Items are being finished up. Pretty much everyone's got a full item now off the bat. Starting to work towards those second items. You can see Inax getting towards the, I assume that's going to be an Infinity Edge on him as his second item, with the on tiles as his first. As Jankos jumps over the wall, Crowny forced to use the ultimate. Reckless finds the headbutt pole onto 2. Reckless being a really good bodyguard for his ADC here.
That was very well played from the side of NORD, because they burned Xayah ult with a Rakan W. They haven't even used Vi R, but they could use it here because Chachi is pushing in a wave under that tower and NORD are ready to punish.
No ultimate for Velia either, so Baus is going to be on his lonesome, tries to clear the wave, teleport's coming in, that's going to be the knock-up. A lot of damage coming out of Baus, but Chachi loses so much HP, Rupture goes wide, and Baus dissuades 4.
Apparently still counts is enough as a defensive item to stop that, but something else that Cho'Gath does really well is he eats through the wave real quickly, right?
Yeah.
He sees people coming at him, he QEs the wave, it's gone completely. So great stuff right there from Baus. This way to dive versus 4.
I think he's going for it, Velia. Looks for the lockdown, Nash able to break away though.
Los Ratones are looking to get some control towards the bot side because the dragon is spawning in about 40 seconds. They do have 2. That would be soul point if they manage to solidify that one for themselves. And NORD are going to have to find a way through their jungle. You do still have Vi ult, and Jankos is looking.
Teleport's coming in, Rupture's going down. That's going to be the quickness coming through from Nash, catching everybody in as Inax slides into the play. That's 2 down for the side of Los Ratones. No way finds Nemesis, who jumps away with the quickness. It's a killing spree for Inax as Baus falls. 8 kills to NORD. They have so much control right now.
I just feel like LR are making plays without Crowny. Crowny is primarily the damage from most of those fights, and then making plays with an AP Cho'Gath and a Pantheon. I feel like Xayah has so much to give in these fights, but Crowny was pathing towards the top of the map, and the Dragon was spawning, so I'm guessing maybe there was some sort of split call right there, where half of it was go top farm, half of the other was like, okay, we got them as a 3 versus 3, but NORD have proved, especially in that early game, the combination of Vi, Rakan is so good at getting that CC chain, pinning people down for long enough, and the damage comes through from the Vi and the Ahri.
Really, really clean team fighting here from NORD. They're playing it incredibly smart, where Los Ratones, honestly, very scattered on their calls and the decisions that are going on in the fights.
That's an Infinity Edge?
I think it might be an Infinity Edge for Enax, if I'm honest with you. I think Crowny probably doing the same thing, just hasn't got the extra cloak in yet. But you are right. He
doesn't have the funds. He's waiting for it.
Yeah, because he hasn't been getting the kills.
Yeah.
They haven't really had any, that's why.
He's getting the fun. Scored his CS up. Making up for some of the kills he's not getting.
Yeah.
But I would love to see Allah play around Crowny. I know that Infinity Edge is very important for Xayah as well, but especially if you're going to take those early game skirmishes, Yuntal still provides so much damage with the feathers as well.
Yeah.
And since you're the primary target for Vi, you take that ultimate with the Feather Storm, then you sort of free everyone else jumping onto this Vi and turning it around.
I feel like Baus may need to be a little careful. If he overextends too much, NORD have control of the top side of the map right now. He's going to look for the assassination, though. On to no way! You had Flash! You had Spirit Rush!
That's an AP Cho'Gath.
That's a solo bolo.
You cannot stand still versus an AP Cho'Gath. No way. I think that was a big, big, big miscalculation from his part. Done with ult and flash up. Let's see if Jankos can take the 1v1. Misses the Q.
Baus is just going to find him with a rupture. Gets caught by the ultimate, though, to interrupt that knock-up lane. Silence comes through. This is a pretty even fight between the pair of them. Flashes over the rupture. Jankos is going to force Baus to flash as well. There's no backup. This is an isolated 1v1. Vault breaker forward. Rupture comes in. Baus continuing to run away. All the while, Los Ratones will be taking the Atacan. This was a horrific play from NORD.
They're falling for the global magnet again. The bounce has been for Los Ratones, but NORD right here going to respond. Rift Herald mid. Everyone is on the resets from the side of LR due to the Atacan. Mid lane tower is going to fall. NORD are pressuring Velia in the mid lane as well. That might be a second bop down mid.
Gonna get a second bop, but not a second tower. Nice chunk out of it, though. The global bounce taunt.
Yep.
Really just cost NORD a lot. They felt like they had so much control over the tempo of the game, and they still have a big gold lead, but that was not the kind of mistake you want to be given over. I'm sure NORD are going to collect.
I feel like at this point it's getting a little bit too old, you know? Everyone's like, don't fall for it. Don't go for Baus.
Don't go for Baus. He's like Singed. Don't chase Singed.
Don't chase. Oh, God.
Don't chase Baus.
Singed in your base, level 1. Why doesn't he play Singed? It seems like it would fit his playstyle, no? Maybe he gets a little buff.
He's more tanky.
Yeah,
I guess, yeah.
More tanky?
He likes tanks, apart from Quinn.
Oh, yes, he plays Sion with Axiom Mark 7.
Yeah, true,
I think he really likes tanky brains.
Good point. Oh, he was originally famous for the lethality.
He plays Cho'Gath. He really likes tanks.
He likes tanks and then building them wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it is. And he does it well. He does it very well.
All right, minute and a half for the next Dragon. It's going to be Soul Point for the side of LR. They have set up, same as NORD right now. And actually, there was a really cool discussion between, I think it was Reckless and Odoamna the other day. They were talking a lot about correct timers to ward so that the enemy does not then have the sweeper to take your wards away. So you find the correct timers where NORD, for example, right now have come in, they put the wards down, but Los Ratones are coming through a reset, which means the sweepers will most likely be up. You've got control wards in their inventories. Hopefully, you've got the gold for it. And then suddenly all that vision that was put down by NORD, you can just sweep away when you're coming through a reset.
Yeah, you just get the advantage off the back of that one. And I do feel like this might be our big 5v5 we've been kind of waiting for this entire game.
We've got almost 2 items all across.
Yeah, Infinity Edges is the big one on both Crowny and Inax. They've got those finished up. Cleavers on both Velia and Jankos as well. 2 items across the board, like you said. This is going to be an all-out brawl. And it's crazy to think that everyone's kind of matched on items considering the gold difference.
Veli's around. Veli's around.
Able to jump away, but Velia has looked for him here. Chachi's just going to dash away. And they go forwards. They're actually going to proto belt. He's just going to continue to run. Rupture goes wide. Reckless makes his way up as well. And Chachi's just able to skip away.
Chachi is Baus.
They're still chasing.
Chachi is Baus. He's doing it.
4 members onto Chachi. Can he get away from this one? Needlework into the headbutt pole, into the silence. He can't cast a spell. Velia takes him down.
Instant tempo TP from Baus over in the mid lane. Push down that wave as well. Inax is trying to trim it from the other side for NORD. NORD have taken home in the jungle of Velia on the bot side. Nemesis from the bot lane as well, pushing down that wave, and NORD are pinched.
They got the blast cone to get them all over the wall, but they're still pretty heavily pinched here. Baus chasing forwards. Don't think they're going to find much here. Just jumps away from that Rupture. The Chachi taunt didn't work quite as well as a Baus taunt. They got a tower, but this dragon should be going
10
over.
seconds.
Lost Ratones have the man advantage. Jankos, no blast cone available. NORD just have to give it up. Dragon number 3 over Lost Ratones. They're on to Soul Point.
Yeah, unfortunately right there, Chachi getting caught on a side lane. Even though he did delay his death, the dragon wasn't up yet, so that NORD can take full control of that. They did manage to grab some vision into enemy lines, but then when Lost Ratones committed the TP from Baus over in the mid lane, this very fast became a 5 versus 4 that they couldn't afford to take. And right here, Lost Ratones, I feel like this is where they're the strongest. They've got their 2 items, Silas is scaling, Pantheon with Cleaver is actually strongest on that 2 to 3 item breakpoint.
Yeah.
And now you've got Riftmaker for Baus as well. This is why we saw Lost Ratones maybe take it a little bit slower in the early game, but now that the items have come through, I feel like Lost Ratones will be more than happy to fight. Now, where are you going to look? Because again, champions from the side of NORD, very, very, very slippery. And on the side of Lost Ratones, your only initial engage that you have is possibly Reckless catching someone off position.
Yeah, that Chachi pick felt a little illegal to me, to be honest. Like, NORD didn't gain anything really other than that tower, but...
You say that he's going to drop a quadra kill or something, and you're going to...
I have every faith, because, you know, that was a very
Will you
unlike Chachi
apologize if
mistake.
he drops a quadra?
Hell yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Apologize if he drops a triple, to be honest. Like, it was a very unlike Visit Chachi mistake to make there, but ultimately it cost his team the dragon. They lost a lot of pressure off that. I want to see what NORD actually have up their sleeve, because right now it felt like they had a lot of tempo, they had a lot of map control, they had a lot of a gold lead. They haven't really been able to actually translate that into much.
I just feel
Maybe
like the
looking for a pick
waves
here,
are not
though.
being pushed.
Nope, they're just going to jump forwards. Baus is just going to walk up and try and take the tower. Although, they actually see Chachi trying to put some damage into Baus, gets the needlework off. There's no way. Jumps in forwards. Reckless is just playing the gatekeeper for his team. But the charms are huge. Chachi snipping away. Baus on the flank may find an angle. Nobody goes down. That was a lot of posturing.
Reckless was the real MVP of this fight. The second Nash presses ult, Reckless pins him in place. Had he been able to slide into the backline, get onto Crowny, who didn't have his ult or his flash up, this could have been very, very lethal for Lost Ratones. Wasn't quite the case. Reckless, Ashram said he attacked previously, but now he defends, and he does it really well.
He is a good bodyguard. We said this yesterday, actually, well, after the game ended, but we felt like Reckless was kind of the secret MVP of yesterday. It was very much a Baus show, but like Reckless was so on
Tell
it.
you what, usually AD carries whine a lot about their supports, and they're like, oh, they just don't understand what we want as AD carries. Well, now he has the chance to do it. He knows what an AD carry needs. What an ADC needs, what an ADC wants. Well, we'll get DMCA'd. We'll get DMCA'd. I'm not going to continue.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
Well, again, it's a very, very relaxed tempo game is how I'm going to word it. You know, we've had a bit of posturing. We haven't had that full proper 5v5 of kills yet, but again, NORD are stepping forwards, trying to fight for the vision, trying to get control of the area. Inax just catching waves. 3 items now onto the Kai'Sa. Got the Hurricane. On the other side, Crowny does have the Flicker Blade finished up, so 3 item ADCs across the board. Like, I feel like these teams are itching to fight, but neither of them are willing to go. I say that, they find the charm and the knock-up in to the backline with the Vi ultimate from Jankos. Velia will fall. The healing comes forward. Nemesis connects on with the Absalom Duct. Reckless, 2-man pole. Baus silencing onto the backline. That's going to be the kills for Lost Ratones as Chachi enters into the fray. Needlework coming through. Baus losing so much HP. Headbutt pole onto no way. Inax will fall. Chachi on his own. Snip, snip. Lost Ratones turn the fight around. It's a double for Crowny. No way the only man standing. Spotted by the ward. He can do nothing but watch as they hunt him down. Oh, no way. No way out of this one. He'll just execute.
Los Ratones, fantastic turnaround. Nemesis starting the Baron right here as well. Death timers are huge with 45 seconds onto No Way. And the reason why this game has been so stagnant and slow is because Los Ratones cannot start their own fights. Their initial engage is not good enough. But if NORD overextend, then they can turn it around, which is exactly what happened here. Wrong target selection. Jankos dives too far. The rest of NORD were on a different target. Bowson manages to flash through and knock up the backline. And it feels like this whole time NORD were pretty much in a retreat mode until Chachi got there. And by the time he did, it was too late. They've already expended everything they have.
Chachi tried his best. But the silences of his team being too chunked and on the run, not able to turn that around. That was a very, very well-coordinated fight from Los Ratones. We haven't seen that in this game yet. That looked like they were back.
That's the scary part of having an all-in team. You choose the wrong target, you don't coordinate on one, it all falls apart.
Well, I think we might get another chance. This time Chachi's in the area. They find the knock-up in response, though, from Reckless onto two members of NORD. Needlework doing a little bit of work, trying to cut through them somewhat. But everybody's dashing around into the backline. They go. Here's the charm. Here's the kill. Velia finds it. Two members fall. NORD on the run once again. Baus hunting for Chachi. Headbutt Polv comes in onto Chachi. Dodges away on that rupture. We can see the backline there as the feathers are falling out. Crowny takes the kill. Inax on the run. Chachi 1 versus 3. Gwen is immune. Got the snip. Dodging the ruptures away. Crowny's low HP, but Chachi cannot do it. Down they go. Los Ratones take another fight and Soul.
Baus stole the dragon. This is Soul for LR because this guy just walked in, pressed R, stole the neutral objective from both junglers because no one could smite it apparently, but he could. Los Ratones right here with the Soul, with 1,000 gold lead now taking that bot lane tier 2. They have put themselves in the lead, and again, NORD are playing to spread apart. This is a find a target, engage target. I want you to look at Nash and Reckless. Every time Nash presses R, Reckless pins him in place. He has not allowed him to find the backline once in all these skirmishes we've seen. Baus walks in, presses R, and then Nemesis splits the fight. Inax has to commit the ult just to make sure he gets that last stick onto Nemesis. And now Reckless and Baus on the bot side, Velia over the top. Velia is keeping busy both the carries right there with Crowny. Even though he ends up falling on the bot side, Chachi cannot deal with the rest 3.
Chachi, the silences are too much. He tried his hardest. He's strong on this Gwen, but his team, like you said, they're just not coordinated. You've got a 6-1 Kai'Sa,
not 1v3
and you're just not able to find the damage at all. Constantly being zoned away, and it really is Reckless. Reckless is such a difference maker because Baus gets hit by the charm, they know he's not getting blown up. As soon as anyone postures for it, Reckless jumps in, stops Nash like you said, and then just keeps Inax and No Way from entering into that fight. If they can get into the fight, it's a very different fight, but that is just not happening through Reckless. His watch is so vigilant here. Down goes this tower on the top side. And NORD are just completely in the wrong place.
Why are they on Baus? He's all the way over in the mid lane. Their towers are falling. They're looking for a turnaround here, but Los Ratones sticking as a unit as 4.
I think Jankos might be in danger here. Gets caught by the abduct, able to jump away with the Q. Teleport's committed though from Baus, joining up the rest of them. Nemesis has the Ari ultimate, not going to throw it out. But Jankos half health. Definitely going to be a real issue for them if they do look for a fight. Although Chachi, yeah, like you said, on the flank, was thinking about jumping in, but I think NORD are a little shaken. They're not willing to full commit anymore.
I mean, what's the waves, right? Crowny, push top wave.
Good charm, good charm.
Velia?
Into the knock-up, but it's a Pantheon. Presses W, untouchable.
It's very, very difficult. 2 waves pushing towards NORD as well. Reckless.
Oh, Reckless jumps in onto that backline. Redemption comes up, just heals NORD back in. They're going to jump forwards though. There's Inax onto the backline. Nemesis trying to zone him away, but Inax is doing some serious damage. Jankos falls. Nemesis can't find the turnaround, but it doesn't matter. Crowny put out the damage in the fight. The Grand Starfall from Delia to chase onto Inax, flashes in, finishes him up, interrupts Chachi on the reset. Now Chachi's got a 1v1 him, but he can't hold the base and find the kill. Gets the reset out, he's gonna TP into his base, but I think Los Ratones have got this first game in the bag. No one's coming up for another 20 seconds for the side of NORD. Can Chachi pull it off? No needlework. Small minion wave to cut through. Reckless
reckless, tries to find the opening, dodges away for a brief second, but his health bar is absolutely deleted, liquefied by Crownie. The Nexus will fall, and Los Ratones will take game number 1 of the series.
Very slow, very calculated game. This is a very LR draft where they don't necessarily have a lot of means to engage.